Flesh and Blood is a game that strives to be new and different and innovative. And this attention to detail goes all the way down to their handling of overpowered cards and heroes. Let's talk about the Living Legend status. Well, hello there my fellow Flesh and Blood players. Did you know that the Living Legend status has actually recently changed? Now, even skirmish events can affect a hero's Living Legend status. So instead of a 10-point system, it's been changed to a 1,000-point system, with the highest World Champion event being 300 points, all the way down to the skirmish events, which are worth 3 points. Now, obviously, that's a pretty big point difference, but the fact remains, this is a system that allows heroes to self-rotate if they're too powerful. And this system is brilliant. So banlists are always a contentious thing. You have games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Whose entire format structure revolves around the ban list. And Magic, well, But here comes Flesh and Blood, with a system that is just brilliant. So the heroes have actually been split up into two classes. You have adult heroes needing 1,000 points and young heroes needing 500. And the reason for this is because the two formats for it are going to be Classic Constructed and Blitz. And while Blitz is very heavily played, it's more of an entry level type of game. So you're going to have smaller events for it, whereas the big events like Worlds and Nationals that are worth far more points are going to be mostly Classic Constructed. So that's the way that they've set up their system. And I feel this is a very, very smart way of doing things. And it's a very good way to fix the game organically. So even though they've done a really good job so far, LSS will make a big oopsie one day. They are going to release a hero that is beyond what Ira or Chain are right now. They will make an oopsie someday. It's bound to happen, especially because this game is non-rotating. As more cards come in, as more heroes, as more strategies, as it gets more diverse and you can't keep track of everything, it will happen. And this is a pretty good fail-safe system, because if a hero comes out that is just tier 0, they don't really need to do an emergency ban, because if suddenly within the course of 6 months to a year, the card basically auto bans itself by being that overpowered that it just accrues so many points. Remember, even if you get down to the skirmish level where they're only worth 3 points for a win, if you've got hundreds of those going on, that's a pretty quick way to earn points if every single one is being topped by a single hero. And even at the moment, if you look at the Blitz list, Ira is almost at 200 points. No other hero is even close. The next closest isn't even at 100. And so eventually, chances are, she will be the first to hit the Living Legend status and will be gone forever. And suddenly, there will be a big format change. And that is one of the best parts about this. People will talk about what the next meta will look like. Once Ira's banned in Blitz, what decks are going to be the best? What cards are suddenly going to be playable because the menace of this one hero is gone? It will shake up everything. And I think it's really cool. I also like that it gives players a little bit of power. So if they ever do release a hero that is just beyond busted, players have the chance to play that deck over and over and over. And if enough people collectively agree, okay, we're all just gonna play this hero, we're all just gonna try and top with it so we can get rid of it. We're all gonna start playing it at these big events. We're all gonna play it even at skirmish level, let's say, and just try to get rid of it as quickly as possible. Now, obviously, it's not some great grand power. The big events are the ones that are going to have more bearing than the skirmishes. But if you've got several hundred skirmishes going on, it's not outside the realm of possibility for enough people to get together and maybe push the hero's rotation a month or two ahead of what it might be if they didn't have that concerted effort. I like the fact that there is a bit more power than just complaining on Twitter to the company that you want things banned, or making YouTube videos, because, well, Konami, for instance, just doesn't care. Their ban lists go based on what they can sell. It's not necessarily about making a healthy game, and Yu-Gi-Oh players know this, and they seem to have accepted this, and that's fine. And Magic, on the other hand, well, they've made a pretty bad track record of making these overly busted cards and then taking months long to ban them. They are just insane with that. And now they've almost flipped, where they're banning cards before they even get released. Again, Flesh and Blood, with the innovation, with the attention to detail, with the really new, fresh, and genius ideas. I really like the Living Legend status. I think it is very healthy for the game, and I genuinely am excited to see the interesting dynamics that it brings to the community, and to the metagame when one hero finally does reach that living legend status. It's gonna be a wild time.